Good evening. We are discussing an important development. The Defence Acquisition Council, the apex decision-making body of the Indian Ministry of Defence, has okayed critical equipment for the Indian Armed Forces. The equipment worth 3.60 lakh crores, or approximately $39 billion, will be three critical equipment, as I told you. One, the 114 Rafale fighter jets has been okayed by the DAC, and also US-made equipment P8-I, the Boeing P8-I, the plane which is used for maritime surveillance by the Indian Navy. Also, the Ministry of Defence has okayed the High Altitude Pseudo Satellites. This is the first time that the Indian forces will get High Altitude Pseudo Satellites. The Ministry of Defence has also okayed combat missiles for long range. Now, the Ministry of Defence just mentioned these are the Scalp missiles to be used on the Rafale fighter jets. Now, starting off one by one, 114 Rafale jets. The Indian Air Force already flies 36 Rafale fighter jets. The Navy has ordered 26 and 114 more for the Indian Air Force now. Takes up the number of Rafale jets to 170 plus almost in the Indian Armed Forces. The Rafale jets are powered by a Safran engine. The Safran has already set up an MRO hub, or a maintenance research, maintenance, repair and overall hub in the country. Indian Air Force has the capacity to immediately take in 2 squadrons of the Rafale at its bases in Ambala in Haryana and Hashimara in the northeast. The Rafale fighter jets will be largely made in India. 96 of those planes are to be made in India by Dassault, the French plane maker, which makes the makes the Rafale fighter jet. The Boeing P8-I, the Indian Navy already flies 12 of those. The planes are used for maritime surveillance. They carry anti-submarine pods and also equipment to bring down Chinese submarines patrolling in the seas. By Chinese submarines, I mean any enemy submarines. These could be Pakistani submarines also. The Indian Navy is looking for 6 more such planes. These planes will be working in cohesion with the MQ-9B, the drones which we are getting from the Americans. 31 of those are on order and will be coming from 2029 onwards. The Boeing P8-I has shown its prowess also along the line of actual control, or the LAC, during the standoff with China from May 2020 onwards. The third point in the DAC, or the Defence Acquisition Council, today was the following. The High Altitude Pseudo Satellite. These are to be flying at an altitude of around 20 kilometers in the sky. That is above the altitude of commercial planes. These satellites will provide a constant intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance mechanism for the armed forces. These will provide high-res imagery, and being up there, they could also be solar powered, means that they could be up there for a longer period of time. They will be a bridge between what a UAV can do. A UAV normally flies for around 40-45 hours. A high altitude long endurance UAV can fly for around 40-45 hours. And the satellite up there. So this HAPS, or the HAPS, the pseudo satellite, will be a bridge between the UAV and the satellite imagery coverage, which the Indian Armed Forces get. And the fourth is the Scalp missile, which will be part of the new arsenal. Sources tell us around 380 of those missiles are to be purchased. The Defence Ministry has not put an accurate number to how many missiles it's getting. That is obvious. But sources tell us around 380 of those missiles are coming in. These are long-range missiles, were used also when India launched Operation Sindoor in May last year against Pakistan and targeted terror camps. Later, Pakistan retaliated and we hit back at several Pakistan air bases on the 10th of May 2025. These missiles can also be mated in the long run in other Indian Air Force platforms. The DAC, which met today, as I told you at the start of the program, okayed proposals worth 3.60 lakh crores. That is $39 billion. This spend does not mean that the spend will go in one go. It will be spread across several years. The Boeing P8-I will go under negotiation, and then the Cabinet Committee on Security will clear it, and then follow on. It will follow on. Similarly, for the Rafale, the plane's proposal will go to the CCS, the Cabinet Committee on Security, headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India is looking to have these Rafale deals signed when French President Emmanuel Macron is in India from February 17th to 19th. Prime Minister Modi and President Macron are expected to meet for bilateral in Mumbai on the 17th of February. That will be critical, since this deal will cement India-France ties, and also will cement how India and France have strategic ties, and also Indian Air Force's prowess will now be relying largely on French technology. Of course, they have the Russian technology in the Sukhois, but other than the Russian technology, this will be a major leap of faith for India and France, both, since 170 Rafale jets, as I told you at the start of the program, along with the Safran engines, they're also French origin. They will form the bulwark of Indian Air Force's fighting combat fleet in the future. We will keep on updating you as the things move ahead. With me is Tribune photographer Mukesh Agarwal.